We live in a time where long-running franchises are unfortunately riddled with content stagnation. Continuations that add nothing to the pre-established lore, retreaded plot beats and character arcs that serve to descend the quality gradually with each entry, constant calls for an end and to move on so we can enjoy the art of the past without it being tarnished by wanting to use its good name to make a quick buck. Sequel after sequel, spin-off after spin-off, sometimes the hardest realization a franchise needs to come to is when to end. Unless, of course, you have the right people on your side. Dan Trachtenberg, director of 10 Cloverfield Lane, is one such person. The Predator franchise seemed to misunderstand the point of the original movie. The first act was a satire. It was taking the action movie tropes, portraying them to an almost comical extent, to get the audience into a state of comfort, before having these ultra-macho and powerful military guys go against a monster that makes them look like unarmed children. Then, they forgot about that for the next 2 movies. Made 2 derivative action thriller movies with a Predator or 2 sprinkled in there, Partner Daughters and Speaks to make an abomination, then went to sleep, because this franchise wasn't making any money. Until Danny Boy saw his window and took it. He had ideas for a Predator movie and he was going to act on them. This led to Prey, which is in my opinion, the best Predator movie. I know most people put it in contention with the first one, which is valid because it's easily the top 2, but Prey just nudges it out for me. Feral Yautja just has too much sauce. I mean, I've said it before, but he throws a bear trap at a guy. It's so fucking clean. Prey didn't get the theatrical release it deserved, but it was a success, leading to Dan being allowed to cook a bit more. And he had, of course, the secret project I've covered on this channel, Killer of Killers, and while I had my problems with that movie, I did enjoy it, and I liked the concept a lot. And people really liked it. I mean, it's the highest rated Predator movie on Rotten Tomatoes. And here we are with the third entry into the Trachtenverse, Predator Badlands. Now, there was a lot of skepticism surrounding this movie. A PG-13 Predator movie? With a Yautja main character? Focusing more on action than horror? And the Yautja looking like this? And yeah, a lot of people were worried about it, which makes sense. And from what I've seen of the opinions are going around online, from the people watching it opening weekend, it seemed a little unwarranted. Because let me tell you right now, I had so much fun with this movie. Predator Badlands focuses on Dek, a fledgling Yautja played by Demetrius Matangi, who hasn't earned his cloak yet, still needing to hunt a legendary predator and bring it back as a trophy. Due to this, he's seen as weak by the clan, and is on the chopping block for culling. This would be the case if it weren't for Dek's brother, Quay, an older, more successful and skilled Yautja, played by Mike Hommick, who earns Dek one last chance, a hunt to bring back a predator and earn his place in the tribe. But Dek, caught up in anger and eagerness to prove himself, naively chooses the most dangerous planet and the most dangerous prey of all, the Calic, found on planet Genna, also known as the Death Planet. So Dek calmly travels to Australia to deliver strong words to the natives. It's here that he meets Thea, a synth from the Weyland-Yutani Corporation, the same as in the Alien franchise since they are very committed to making this crossover universe work, and I could not be happier. No idea how Blade Runner ties into things though. Thea is played by Elle Fanning and joins Dek on this lovely buddy cop adventure. Him seeing her as a guidance tool since Yautja hunt alone and cannot travel alongside others. They go through perilous expeditions with dangerous locations and vicious creatures, all the while the Weyland-Yutani Corporation remains a looming threat, wanting to retrieve the damaged goods left behind. On the surface, I can understand the problems people had with the idea Badlands centered around. I feel like the movie being PG-13 was enough to worry most that they were playing it safe. And the Yautja being presented as prey rather than predator, which has been done before, to be fair, does make Dek seem less cool at first compared to his brethren that we've seen in the past movies. But at the same time, that's kind of the point. Dek is a literal underdog. He's a runt that was about to get taken out back and shot. It's his last chance to prove his strength of body and will. But the underdog predator story isn't the only thing focused on, of course, since we see Thea bring up the human side of this duo. Being a synth coded to be more sympathetic and sensitive, able to understand the creatures inhabiting Genna, and to thrive in the environment. She's interested in Yautja culture and everything they do and believe in, their honor system, what materials they use for their tools, and most importantly, what drives them. I don't want to say that this movie humanizes the Yautja because that feels like it's breaking it down to too simplistic of terms. It adds greater depth to them as figures of grey. They aren't traditionally evil villains, even the ones in the past movies weren't, since naturally they don't kill innocent people. But they aren't creatures of the light ready to defeat evildoers at a moment's notice. They have a code to stick to. But must a code get in the way of the morals of a sentient being? Much like Sekiro, this movie questions loyalty and family compared to choosing what is right, and I like that a lot. Speaking of video games, Dan has gone on record saying this movie was heavily inspired by several, including two obvious ones being Shadow of the Colossus and Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter is especially prevalent in my opinion, with the designs of the giant things we see popping up around trying to take a bite out of Deck and Thea, and especially how they have to take them down. Two others being Uncharted and The Last of Us, and these all make sense since it creates some of the best action in the entire franchise. Since we have these giant monsters that are specialized to survive any harsh climate, there's the overwhelming deadly power of Yautja technology, including some old favorites that have come back from the past movies, like the Bristblade, the extendable spear, and the grenades. Honestly, there's so much continuity going into the Trachtenberg movies that it makes me giddy. Even this movie has a lot of great references to previous alien technology. And we see that Quay has killed an alien from Independence Day, so that's still canon too. Honestly though, I just fucking love this movie's action. Deck is the perfect balance between a skilled combatant and an arrogant, in-over-his-head rookie, without even saying a word half the time since he's a Yautja. There's plenty of instances of him being the coldest motherfucker to some monsters, and then almost getting taken by the elements because he got too in over his head. Which makes sense due to his character's main struggle being that he feels like he's not good enough. I mean, he's basically been bullied all his life and was about to be killed. All because of that same toxic masculinity that was so prevalent in the original Predator movie and made it such a hit. The subversion of expectations when the macho G.I. Joe character becomes a horror final girl. And now we see a Yautja, a predator, an honor-bound, clan-defending killer, going backpacking with a cool robot. Despite the PG-13 rating too, this movie does not skimp out on the gore. I mean, there is multiple beheadings and even more gruesome killings in this movie. I think some genius just realized that they didn't need to have any actual humans in the movie, so changed the blood shade on the monsters slightly and bam, they don't need to censor it anymore. And hey, whatever helps this movie reach a larger audience, it deserves it. The score also really surprised me. It really helped elevate a lot of hype moments and show the character in every detail of Deck's body language. Sarah Schachner has absolutely outdone herself with these awesome tracks that had me giggling to myself and pogging in the cinema like an actual child. Not to mention the quiet moments too, the ones of character, because ultimately character is the most important part of the movie. That's what sets it apart from Predator 2 to 4. The relationship between Thea and Deck is a rocky one. He doesn't see her as a live being and just a tool to be used to benefit him, but she needs him to survive out there on Genna. They're both trying to reach the destination, and I love the effects they have on each other. Not to mention, Thea also has some amazing action of her own, with really great uses of her synthetic body. Honestly, the third act of this movie was just a rollercoaster that doesn't have any lows. It just keeps going higher and higher, great callbacks, and masterful use of premises, set up for some great payoff, really strong character moments without even needing much dialogue, and a super badass final fight that had me so shocked when I saw what it was against. This movie fucks. I do understand and sympathize with the people who wish the horror elements of the Predator franchise had stuck into this movie, but I like the change of pace. Dan said himself that you can't just retread old ground repeatedly and have to try something different. And that's one of the reasons I have a lot of confidence in him as the head of this franchise. I mean, he already has an idea for the next movie, and if it's anything based around that last scene, oh boy, we are in for a treat! I'm perfectly happy with a buddy cop Predator synth action movie that has more levity written into it. I don't think there's anything to complain about since it's written well. There's no point where I thought lines were unnatural or stupid, which can happen with continuations of legacy franchises. Sorry, Alien Romulus, and sorry Andy especially, because David Johnson deserved an Oscar for that role, but frankly, I've said what I have to say. Predator Badlands is an extremely worthy entry into the series. It holds the third highest place on Rotten Tomatoes, and to me, it's probably my second or third favourite after Prey. I need to rewatch the original. Dan Trachtenberg is an incredibly talented writer and director, and is helping so much to progress towards Predator, leaving the shadow Alien has cast over it for so many years. I cannot wait to see the adventures of Deck, should he return in the future. And I hope we get even more crossovers with the Blally Independence Day universe, if this is how well they're done. I'm just saying, AVP3 with Dan at the helm sounds pretty fucking good to me. But until then, I'm giving Predator Badlands a solid 8 out of 10. Cannot wait to see what comes next. And if you want to avoid getting sent to Denner to have to fight all the monsters there, consider subscribing. Only 0.2% of my viewers are actually subscribed, and I really want to keep making content for a while. I like making these reviews. I think they're really fun. I think it's a good use of my time, because I yap about movies a lot. And if you enjoy my yapping, please like the video. If you didn't, that's fine. I understand, honestly. If you'd like to see more of my content in the future, again, consider subscribing. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. It would be a huge, huge goal for me. But I appreciate any support nonetheless, and I thank you again for watching this video. Take care, and see you next time. Have fun.